I only heard about this calendar a few days ago by someone on Instagram sending me a link to it, and I bought it just instantly because, as you can see, Jabba here is featured rather prominently, and there's some other things that I think you're going to be interested in as well if you're a Jabba fan. But just to explain briefly what this is, it's a Halloween countdown calendar. I guess the idea is that it's like an advent calendar for something other than Christmas, in this case Halloween. I'm not really familiar with this idea of, having essentially a bunch of advent calendars for other holidays. It seems like it's maybe a new thing that people are trying, because I've seen, after I saw this, I kind of looked into it, and there's quite a few of them out there now, but it seems like a relatively new idea. Could be wrong. It's very similar to an advent calendar. Got, the cardboard box with little compartments in it that you have, the idea is to open one every day. In this case, I think they're 12 or 13, I guess, little vinyl figures. And ideally, you would go ahead and start opening it 13 days before Halloween, and then I guess you'd open the final one on Halloween itself. But we're going to just go ahead and open them all because I want to see what's in there. Now, I'm not going to show you the back of the box because it does reveal what's inside. And I think it'd be more fun to kind of, see that in the moment. But other than that, yeah, let's go ahead and open this up. I want to see, in particular, this Jabba, but also some of the other characters that they have. So if we open this little door, you can see on the inside we have a witch porg riding a broom. And then inside here we have some other characters as well. Looks like we've got some porgs, BB-8, Lolcat, Lothcat, various other characters. I'm of course immediately drawn to the Rancor, but I do know, spoiler alert, that the Rancor himself, at least as far as I'm aware, does not appear in this calendar, so these are not necessarily all things that do appear in the calendar, but still, it's fun artwork. So basically what we're going to do is just go down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., and open them all up and see what we get. So I think we just go ahead and punch them in. I don't know what the best way to do this is. So we start out with a little Grogu as a mummy. And these are decent-sized little figures, made of vinyl, as I said. And, they remind me of those bag clips that I've talked about on the channel in the past, that kind of thing. It's a soft vinyl, almost like a rubber. All right. We'll take a look at all of these kind of as a group when we're done with this, but for now, let's move on. We got number 2. We have BB-8 as a jack-o'-lantern shaped robots do kind of suit themselves to this. Now I can't quite get this guy out of here, so I'm going to have to manhandle him out. There we go. This is quite tight, actually. Wow, there we go. And you can see here, he's got a little stem on top. That's pretty cute, I'll have to say. All right, number 3. And these do have a nice weight to them as well. Looks like we have a Mandalorian candy bucket. Does this actually move? No, the handle looks like it might fold up, but it's just in one place. But still pretty cool. Number 4, we have another Grogu-themed item, this time a carved jack-o'-lantern that I'm going to have trouble getting out of here. Hold on. I have to do this off camera. There we have the carved jack-o'-lantern. Pretty nice. These are pretty high quality, I would say, and given that they're Halloween-themed, I feel like you could kind of save these and have them as Halloween decorations that you bring out every year, maybe. I think I might do that. All right, number 5. What do we have in here? These scissors are coming in handy, I'll tell you. We have a porg coming out of a jack-o'-lantern carved like a trooper, clone trooper or stormtrooper. Let me see if I can get him out. Probably scissors are not the best item for this, but using what I've got. Okay, here he is. Pretty cute. A lot of, fairly pumpkin-forward figures up until this point, but I guess that's to be expected. Right here behind the Rancor we have, C-3PO dressed up as a skeleton. Very nice. And behind the Rancor himself, we have a Jawa holding a tiny little jack-o'-lantern that looks to be carved like C-3PO's head, which is pretty cool. Let me get that out of here. Okay, there he is. And this one, of course, could theoretically be a Jabba's Palace character, I think. Next up, number 8. Looks like we've got an Ewok as a witch with a cauldron. Yeah, they didn't mess around in securing these guys in here. They're not going to be coming out too easily. There we have, I guess it's Wicket, given the style of his hood there. Next round, number 9, day 9. Come on. Ooh, we've got R2 also as a skeleton. That one makes maybe slightly less sense, but still pretty cool. Never really thought of what R2-D2's skeleton would look like, but now we have. Number 10. Ah, excellent. Yes. So we've got here Salacious Crumb, and he looks to be on a Gamorrean Guard skull. So we kind of got a 2-in-1 here. Hope I can get him out of there. You can see if I manage to draw blood during this video. This one is really nice. I really like that one. Okay, and we've got just 3 more to go, although they seem on the larger side here. They're on the bottom, especially number 13, which I have a feeling I know what it is quite large. So we'll try number 11. Come on. Oh, well, I was wrong. Here is Jabba in number 11, and he's got bat wings, which is very interesting. So he's got one of these little, acrylic standy things. Makes it look like he's flying on his bat wings. I never really thought that there would be a bat version of Jabba in my collection, but now there is one. Pretty cool. All right, so we got 2 more, 12 and 13. I think I'm just going to use this. Oh, awesome. So we've got a Bantha. A Bantha that is dressed up like a devil. That is very, very interesting. I never would have guessed that, you know, this would be the direction they would go, but here we are. This is a pretty big one, actually. And speaking of big ones, we're all the way at the end. This is number 13, presumably what you would be opening on Halloween itself. Or maybe it's supposed to be Halloween Eve. I don't know what the rules are for these. But anyway, wow, we've got a Wampa as, well, a vampire, I'm assuming. Kind of Count Dracula Wampa. Very, very cute. Look at that. Let's go ahead and line these up and take a look how they look like all together. So here we have all 13 of the figures all lined up. I think they look pretty cool together. I mean, you know, just as little Halloween decorations that you might put around the house or something, I think they could definitely work for a Star Wars fan. For me, obviously, it was these two that I was actually going for. Although I do like a lot of the other ones as well. I think maybe Grogu's a little overrepresented there, but with two things. But it's definitely some unique stuff. I mean, you would not see this kind of figure. I've never thought I would have a Bat Jabba or a vampire Wampa or any of this kind of stuff, basically. So this cost $39.99 directly from the Disney Store website. I don't know if it's actually available anywhere else but online, but that's where I got it. A little pricey, you know, to be frank, but they are good quality figures. I think if you were a little bit on the fence about this, you could try and wait until after Halloween. I think there's a very good chance that these are going to go on clearance on the website. That's the kind of thing that typically happens, but I didn't want to wait, especially because I was going to be making a video about this anyway, so I'm glad that I have it in my collection. Anyway, let me know what you think about this, and if you have any other ideas for mashups with Halloween monsters or, you know, concepts that you could combine with Star Wars characters. I think, you know, I was talking about Grogu being a little overrepresented. I think Pumpkin's also maybe a little overrepresented. They could have gone with some kind of maybe other monster, like, you know, there's no black cats here, there's no like zombies. I mean, I guess they're trying to make it as kid-friendly as possible, so it's understandable. But anyway, I'm pretty happy I got this, so let me know what you think in the comments, and happy early Halloween, I guess.